Hello, welcome to Goal Line Extra. My name is James Ronald. If you're new, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on the notification bell. Welcome to the Premier League weekend in focus. We had interesting Premier League matches over the weekend. Arsenal, after their effortless win against Brighton and Hove Albion 3-0, 3 goals to 0. Keeps them on top of the table just on goal difference. Liverpool dropped second after that disappointing 2-2 draw with Manchester United at Old Trafford. City, after their 4-2 win over Crystal Palace, makes them sit third with only 1 point difference separating the table toppers Arsenal and Manchester City. We are going to see all through these games that happened over the weekend. Now the big question is, can Arsenal finish up the job with 7 games remaining? Have you say in the comment section down below? Let's have a discussion. Can Arsenal finish up the job with 7 games remaining? We shall also be looking at all these 7 games for these three teams: Liverpool, Arsenal, and Manchester City. Let's look at Brighton Arsenal game. Everyone still expecting the remaining games for Arsenal to be really hard for them. Now, even Brighton's game over the weekend was among these games that people expect Arsenal to probably struggle. And if you look at the way they're playing, Arsenal team, the way they're playing, they're winning these games. You look at the players, the way they're playing, it seems like they don't even feel that pressure. A team that aware of what to do, know what they're doing, and what know what they want to do, with confidence, that mental strength. I think, you see, even going a little back a bit, their game against Luton, it was a game that, to me, Arsenal won it with ease. And there's this something about the Arsenal team, if they want to play, to possess the ball, okay, to have the ball, possess it against you, they will do it. They will do it. And if they want to attack you, attack, and get something out of it, they will attack. And if they want to sit back a bit and let you have the ball, but making sure you don't get something from them, you don't score at them, they will let you have the ball. I've seen this against when they played City at Etihad, and against Brighton, Luton. They can do all these 3 things: attack you and get something from what they're doing, or just possess the ball and frustrate you, or they'll be like, hey, you have the ball, we're going to sit back, but making sure you don't get something out of us. And they're doing it. And you look at the other 2 teams, Man City and Liverpool, and look at Arsenal, the way Arsenal is playing is, I think this is what makes the difference between the 3 teams, because Arsenal can do anything they want to do against you to get something out of you. And I also feel if they had played City, kind of attack City, I probably think they were going to get something, score. They didn't put City under much pressure. They were just happy to sit back and be like, no, we're not attacking you, but you're not going to score at us, and we're happy to go back home with a draw. And that is Arsenal for you. So even with the remaining games for Arsenal, if you look at Arsenal remaining games, yes, they're going to play Bayern this midweek on Tuesday. This Tuesday, they're going to play Bayern. Then after Bayern, they play Aston Villa. And Aston Villa, recently and up to now, they are not in good form. They're losing matches. They're losing points. So I still think at Emirates this coming weekend, I think Arsenal can get something from Aston Villa. Now, Douglas Luiz, they're going to miss Douglas Luiz. That's Aston Villa. So I think it's going to be a big loss for them. Yeah, they can find cover, but I think Douglas Luiz missing out for Aston Villa against Arsenal this coming weekend on the 14th is going to be a big loss for Aston Villa. But Arsenal, with the way they're playing, I think they're going to me, I feel they're going to win this because Aston Villa is struggling. Then they have Wolves. Before playing Wolves, they will have played Bayern, the return leg at Allianz Arena. Then they play Wolves, Chelsea, Tottenham Hotspur, Bournemouth, Manchester United, Everton. With all these teams, somebody play no Arsenal having a very tough remaining games of these 7 games remaining to the end of the season. Arsenal have very tough games now. If you look at Chelsea, now this is Chelsea's team. Yes, they're playing, but they're chipping in goals. Over the weekend, we saw Sheffield United scoring 2 goals, and that is the trend now. It's like it's the story, everyday thing happening for Chelsea. You go play them, just assured you're going to win. I mean, you're going to score at them or even outscore them because they will score. So I think with the current form that Arsenal is in at the moment, I think Chelsea, yes, is going to be at home at Emirates. So this is where I think it's going to be very difficult for Chelsea. They have interesting young players, quality. Talk about Palmer. That midfield probably seems to be rock. Enzo and Caicedo. That midfield. So I just feel like with the way Chelsea is playing and allow the opponent to chip in to score goals at them, and you're playing this team, this Arsenal team, really on form. They're very sharp in the final third, and with even if Chelsea gets to be stubborn on that day, you have this Arsenal team that can even sit back and watch you play, and you don't get something out of them. So I just feel this Chelsea game that will be on the 23rd, Arsenal is going to win it. And Tottenham chipping goals. They score at you and beat the London derby, Chelsea London derby, Tottenham on London derby, and derby is a derby. Not like you're on form, you're not on form. But I still think that Arsenal will have an edge over these teams. Then maybe Man United. If you look at the way Man United is playing against Liverpool, believe you me, if Liverpool was Arsenal and United playing Arsenal the way they played Liverpool over the weekend, they would have chipped in many goals, like galloping goals. And Arsenal is playing attacking, extremely attacking, like the way they do. I think United was going to like swallow goals, good number of goals. And I think if they play like that against Arsenal when they face Arsenal, then they stand no chance of beating Arsenal. That is with Arsenal. And they're going to end the season at home against Everton. People still expect this to be really hard for Arsenal. Probably, yeah, it's going to be a Premier League game, end of the season, and every team would want to send their fans back home for holidays, happily and when they're convinced, just it's like more of giving back to the fans. That thank you, we are coming to the close we are coming out to the business end of it, and thank you so much for the season, and go back home safely. So I still think I think Arsenal is going to get something. Is going to win this game. Then Liverpool played United. You see, I don't know. Liverpool, they have quality players. Szoboszlai, talk of McAllister, their front three, Nunez, Diaz, Mo Salah, interesting players. Then talk about the players that come through from the bench. Elliott, Curtis Jones is back. I think this is the Liverpool team that are not clinical enough in the final third. If you look at that game against Manchester United, they played so well in the first half, attacking, attempt after attempt, and they couldn't find the back of the net. Thanks to Onana anyway. Onana stood tall in between the stick, denying Liverpool. But again, with the numerous chances that Liverpool created, they could have, put like 2-3 in the first half, but they were very wasteful. I think it just all goes down to the fact that Arsenal and City had won their game earlier, and there was pressure already on them to win their game against Manchester United. Yes, that pressure there and made the attackers not to have composure in the final third, and that's why all the pressure. Sometimes I think they were going like sometimes 1 second early or late when it comes to shooting, making that decision in the final third. Should they shoot? Should they give a pass to the person who is in the rightful position to put that ball in the back of the net? I think those were the few things, small details that probably made Liverpool not to win, but they played magnificent game in the first half, yes, but with no results. They didn't score enough, to make sure that they win the game. And again, United in the first half were terrible, and chasing shadows everywhere in that first half. But this kind of game that United is playing will not help them. The way they're playing is not been convincing, even in recent games, not been convincing. I think Ten Hag, I don't know what to say about Ten Hag, but I just feel Ten Hag is causing his own downfall. Should I say really caused his own downfall? Because of all the players Ten Hag recruited, new players, these were the players that he had interest in them. I think apart from Casemiro, it was an option. He wanted Frank de Jong from Barcelona, and he had to go for his second option, Casemiro. But all these players he brought, talk about Anthony, Casemiro. I don't know why he's not using Amrabat. Then maybe you can talk about injuries, splitting the team. Martinez, he started really well, but injury is not allowing him to help the team. Malaysia is not there. And I think these were some of the factors that I think making Ten Hag to struggle. Injuries there, but again, even the few players he brought in the team that right now are injury free is not helping him. You talk about Anthony, talk about, yes, Casemiro, Amrabat is not using. Now, why did he bring Amrabat in the team and he's not using him? And also another thing is, I think Ten Hag in his first season brought in a few players, and these players were on loan, brought them on loan, and this is a reason why I think his dream of his dream of rebuilding the team. The dream is of rebuilding this team. I think he kind of got it wrong, because you bring on what Weghorst on loan, then you brought this guy from Bayern on loan, Sabitzer, then you bring on this guy Reguilon on loan, is back, and I think this kind of can bring the team down. When these players are gone, then you need to start afresh. You start from zero. If you had gone for these players, whom he's going to stay with for longer period of time, and that would mark his big step of rebuilding the team. Because now you have these players, brought them on loan, and the next day they go, and you bring another players, you bring other set of players. So I think it's kind of pegging him back. So I think all this, I think some of them is to Ten Hag's doing. I feel he's not doing the right thing. Yes, I know someone may bring on financial issues. United struggling financially, but how much did he splash on Anthony? Yeah, that means money. Then talk about Casemiro. Talk about Martinez. Talk about Hoyland. So I just think that Ten Hag is also to be blamed on why the way United is performing right now. So that is my take on Manchester. But Liverpool, again, back to Liverpool. I think with the remaining games for Liverpool, you talk about they are going to play Europa League on Thursday against Atlanta, then you have Crystal Palace at home, then you play Fulham away, Everton, West Ham, Tottenham, Aston Villa, then they finish up the season against Wolves 19th at home. Yes, at home. Interestingly, all these teams, all the three teams will be on the 19th of May, they will all be playing at home, the final season game at home. They will be all playing at home. Everton against Arsenal will be at Emirates, at Etihad, Man City against West Ham, then at Anfield, Liverpool against Wolves. We're playing up against Wolves. Now we look at all these Liverpool remaining games: Crystal Palace, Fulham, Everton, West Ham, Tottenham, Aston Villa, Wolves. Now you look at all these games, and you see, look at the way Liverpool is playing. Look at the way kind of Sheffield United played them, and you look at these stubborn teams like Fulham, West Ham, Tottenham, Aston Villa. Wow, with the way they're playing, it seems like pressure is getting at them and to the players. That's why I think they're missing glorious chances. It was evident against Manchester United at Old Trafford. So I think this will cost them and cost them the league as well. And the question is, can Arsenal do the job? Can they finish up the job with the 7 games remaining? My answer, to me, I think yes. If you look at Arsenal, the way Arsenal is playing at the moment, playing with confidence, the mental strength that is like they know what they're doing, and even the approach to games. You don't see these kind of players with pressure. You don't see them. You don't see that the body language. They don't show it out that we under pressure, but they know what they have confidence in what they're doing. Confidence in the manager, what the manager is telling them, is they believe in the manager and what the manager is telling them to do. So I think this is what I think it's going to be really hard for these teams Arsenal is remaining to play. Talk about Chelsea. Chelsea is struggling. They're chipping goals. Talk about Tottenham. They allow you to score, and they score. You cannot score them. And with the sharp forwards that Arsenal having goals coming from anywhere, so I think it's going to be hard for these teams. Talk about Chelsea, Aston Villa this weekend. Then talk about Tottenham. And I think is going to be, and Manchester United. I think it's going to be hard for these teams. I kind of feel that Arsenal is going to win all the remaining 7 games.